Once we're here on our back, let's bend the knees and ground the feet. Knees and feet are hip bone width distance apart. Wherever your arms may be here, we're going to turn the palms to face up. Let the shoulders roll open. Finding length here, reaching the crown of your head to the back of your mat. And allowing your spine to be in a neutral place. So you're going to feel a little bit of a lift of the lower back away from the floor. Take a moment here then to close your eyes. Allow yourself to kind of just go a little bit more inward. And we're going to start by focusing on our Pilates breathing. So a little bit different from that yogic breath. We want to inhale through the nose and then exhale out through the mouth. Take a nice deep breath in and fill all the way up. And then a long breath out, making sure that you're emptying out completely. So squeezing it out to the very last drop. As you're inhaling through the nose, allow the ribs to expand out wide, filling the lungs with air. Exhaling out through the mouth, you'll feel the ribs begin to knit and draw back to midline. Squeeze and push air out of body. Think about taking nice, light, easy inhales through the nose as you expand. And then a forceful exhale, purse your lips as if you're blowing out a strong, steady stream of air out through a straw. And notice there when you breathe like that, your midsection, your powerhouse, your core. Breath in, feel the belly rise, and it's nice and relaxed here, disengaged. And then on that forceful, powerful exhale, noticing the abdominals beginning to firm up, right? Contraction of your core in order to squeeze that breath all the way out and through the body. So just continue to stay here with this. Easy breaths in, expansion. Powerful breaths out, contraction, right? Firming in. To really start to build up the relationship between your breath and your core. These two really work hand in hand with each other. So the stronger that your exhale is, the more the core is going to naturally engage, which is really going to help you through the exercises later on. So breath, very important. Also see here if you can begin to pull your abs in even deeper each time that you breathe out. Okay, let's take 4 more cycles of breath. Big, big inhales, strong, fiery exhales, very audible. Good, 3 more, breath in, open the body. And then exhale, pull the body back into midline, squeeze it through. Do 2 more, big breath in, open, open, open. Exhale, contraction. Once more, take a deep breath in. And as your core tightens, exhale, use that to lift your feet off ground, draw the knees to chest, using core strength, right? And then wrap your arms around your legs. Begin to now move very slowly side to side, a little rocking motion. Continue to move with the tempo of your breath, right? We don't want to lose that quality. We want to maintain that quality. So they're in sync now, right? Breath and movement. And then you're just getting a nice little massage into your back. Then from your side to side movement, start to create a circular motion now. So if your hands were clasped, releasing that clasp, and let the hands guide this now. Find the fullest range of motion in the legs that you can, right? That circular motion. Now the massage, right, moves into the very lower back, the backs of your hips, just above the tailbone. Good, take a moment to pause and then reverse direction. So legs, right, both of them are moving in the same direction. Hands are placed probably on your knees to help really move this through. My arms, of course, are doing what your legs should feel like they're doing, okay? Good, and then go ahead and bring the self to still at center. Let's continue to hold the knees with our hands. We're going to move into massaging out the hip flexors. So legs are going to now move opposite ways. So you're going to separate the legs, open them up wide, circle them around and back together again. So again, my arms are going to kind of mimic this. Opening, circling around and back together again. So with this movement, again, it's going to move into the front body, into the hip flexors, just kind of warming into them. When your legs come back together, again, pause and then just reverse directions. Kind of push the legs forward a bit, then open them out and pull back together again. Right, pushing away, opening out, pulling back in. Just a few more of these. Focus on that breath. Good. Then the next time your legs come together here, let's stay like that, right? Legs centered in stillness. You're going to keep the knees drawn into your chest. You're going to then take your arms either out to a T, or if you're really close to an object, you're going to bend your elbows to create cactus arms. But either way, you want the backs of your shoulders rooted to the floor to stabilize your upper body. So knees still pulled into chest. Take a deep breath in here, lying on your back. Firm up your belly as you exhale. Guide both legs over to the right. Let them ease into that space. And then as the legs begin to land, turn and look over. Opposite shoulder, left shoulder, right? Coming into a spinal twist. Rotation all the way from the neck down through tailbone. So making sure that both shoulders are still plugged down equally, that you're looking over that right shoulder as much as you can, and that the legs are letting go here. Good. Take one more big breath in this space. And then tighten up your core again as you exhale to help lift your legs up slowly to center, head through center, and then pause there to fill up again, right? Big breath in. Now your core is going to help to guide both legs to the left as you then start to look over right shoulder. Rotation again. Then any variation of this twist that feels right for your body. If you noticed that the right shoulder head had lifted, or the back of it rather, plug it back down, right? We want the thoracic spine, right, the upper back to twist, to rotate, rather it just lifting off the floor. Take one more breath in. Squeeze that breath out, tighten up the belly, lift legs slowly, head slowly back to center. And then once you've gotten back to that centered space, you're going to release your feet back to the floor. Knees and feet are hip width distance apart. From here, we're going to move into a nice stretch into the back of our neck. So before we get into that starting position, just note that it's a very small lift. We're not using our core for any of this work just yet. We're just using our hands and our arms to do the job. So from here, interlace your fingers. You're going to take your hands back behind your head, right at the base of your skull, right before the neck begins. Then here, lying on your back with hands behind your head, you're going to draw the elbows up to the sky so that your arms closely frame your head. That's never going to change. So the only part of your body that will lift is just the back of the head and the neck. Everything else stays rooted. So let's take a breath in here with head grounded to start. Use your hands on the exhale to lift the back of the head and back of neck off floor. Press your chin down into your chest. Keep this lift here as you breathe in. When you exhale, begin to gently take your head back to the ground. Again, all the while the arms are close in towards your head. We'll do that a few more times. This time on your inhale, try to pull your head away from your shoulders, right? Get a little bit more length. And then on the exhale, back of head, back of neck comes up, chin right down into chest. Take a breath in right into the back body. And then exhale, bring it back down to the floor. All right, so we're gonna do 2 more of those. Pulling head away from shoulders first, breath in, the lift on the breath out. Head, neck, chin to chest. Keep it up as you inhale. Take it down with control on the exhale. We'll do that once more. Breath in, pulling away, right? Get a little bit more length into the back of that neck, and then exhale, head and neck, lift, chin, right down into chest. Feel it kind of press. Stay here, breathe it in. Exhale, begin to slowly take that back down to the floor, right? Head to the ground, and then once head is there, you can release your hands and take your arms down close at your side. We're moving to marching next. So marching is a very small, simple movement, one to where we don't necessarily need our core strength to work and do the job, but we want to train our bodies to use the abs. So generally when we do this movement, a lot of the times it moves into the hip flexors. So just be very aware of that as you move through, very focused on breath and engagement of the abdominal muscles. So with feet both grounded to start, on an inhale, you're going to lift your right foot off the ground, draw the knee in towards your chest. And then on your exhale, slowly bring that right foot back down to the floor. Again, lots of control here. We don't just drop it to the mat. And then the left foot on an inhale lifts up and the knee pulls in towards body. Firm in that belly as you exhale and bring that left foot back down to the ground. Right, so we're just going to continue to alternate. Right foot on an inhale comes up, knee pulls in. And then navel draws down to spine as you exhale, release the foot back down to the ground. Breath in, left foot comes up and the knee draws in slow. And then there's a bit of resistance, right, as you exhale to take that foot back down to the ground. I'm going to do 2 more to each leg, right? So move with your breath. Again, a focus on releasing hip flexors, bringing it into the abdominals. We never want to rely on any form of momentum or gravity, like plopping down. We're using muscle strength. We'll do 1 more each side. Right leg comes in on an inhale, foot comes down on the exhale. Once more, left foot lifts and the knee pulls in, and then exhale, foot back to the ground. From here, take the right ankle and cross it over your left knee. Flex the foot here to give your leg some energy, and then use that energy to press leg away. You could also use your hand to the inside of the thigh. All you're trying to do here is create a little bit more room and space to that right outer hip, which is what we're looking to stretch here. So any variation of this figure 4 that feels right for you. You can keep left foot grounded, or the leg can lift higher and you can hold that left leg with your hands. Check your shoulders that they didn't reach to your ears, rather they actively plug to the floor. If you'd like here, you could offer movement, gently rocking side to side. If you're choosing to offer movement, really take your time and just notice, right? You're just going to notice a little bit of a change and shift of the stretch itself. It kind of travels into the outer hip and the glute region of that right side. Wonderful. And then if you were in movement, you're going to bring yourself back to still at center. Let's go ahead and release that stretch, foot to the floor, or both feet if you had chosen to do a certain way. Okay, we're going to move to the other side. Left ankle over the right knee. Again, energy through heel of foot, pressing the leg out, a little bit more hip space. And then any variation of this figure 4 on this side. And note that it doesn't have to be the same that you did last time. Take a moment to shift your attention to your left side. Notice it. And then if you'd like to offer movement, certainly feel free, right? Again, very slow so you can really feel what's happening in your body. If you find maybe like an angle of the body that feels like I need to be here, then you do. Then you stay there, you breathe into it, right? We all have different bodies. We all have different needs. And this is a great opportunity for us to take the time to listen to that and honor it. Good. So if you were in movement or if you were angled at all, just bring yourself back to center, and let's go ahead and release that stretch. Okay. From this space, we're going to slowly draw the knees into the chest, and you can do 1 at a time to help really protect your lower back. Okay. So for this next exercise, a little bit more into our core. Arms can stay closely down at your sides for this one. If you're finding you're wanting or needing more support or stability, you'll take your arms out to their sides or cactus the arms. It just gives a little bit more control there. If you ever want more heat for this one, you can extend your arms up to the ceiling, stacking your arms above your shoulder heads just for a little bit more heat. We're going to move into leg extension. So knees are drawn in to start. Let's take a big breath in. Okay, and then as you exhale, both legs are going to extend away from your body. Now that can mean you can reach them high to the sky or bring them to as low as a hover above the floor. And then draw the knees back in again on an inhale. And then anywhere in between as well, right? So feeling that exhale, find the extension of the legs that's going to work for you. Make sure the legs fully lengthen out here. And then pull the knees back in again. Okay, so you're going to just stay here with this movement. Exhale, legs away from body. Draw the knees in as you inhale. Now, while we're in this movement, your spine is very important. It is an anchor for you. So pressing into the earth is going to prevent you from sliding around on your workspace while the legs are moving, right? So this idea that legs have movement, everything else does not have movement. Core for that stability and support. Let's go ahead and take 2 more leg extensions. Push that air out nice and slowly. So at the very bottom of the breath is when the legs are the longest. Very top of your breath is when the knees are pulled in the closest. Let's do 1 more. Slow extension of legs away from body. Reach out through the toes of both feet. From there, wherever you are, lift the legs straight up to the sky if they weren't there already. So vertical now, right? Legs stacked above the hips. From here, take hold of your right leg from behind with both hands. Here, I'll show this here too. Okay. Right leg, both hands, and then left leg begins to lower downward. So again, find a level of lowering that works for your body. So for this one, your head can stay grounded. That's more of an easier version. If you're wanting more intensity or heat, you'll do this with head and shoulders elevated, eyes on your navel. Single straight leg. This is going to stretch our hamstrings and work the abs. So on a breath in, 2 slow pulses in with that right leg towards your chest. Pulse, pulse. Use your breath out to switch the legs. Left leg holding on, pulse the left leg in twice. Switch as you breathe out, right? Taking this at a very slow pace for control again, right? That's one of the principles of Pilates, is isolation of movement, right? It's more important a lot of the times what isn't moving in the body rather than what is. And taking the pulses slow too, so that can really get that deep, deep back of leg stretch, okay? If your head is up here and you're like fighting to keep it up, right? You're straining in your neck and shoulders, take the head back down, redirect focus back to your core. Let's do 4 more rounds of breath here, right? Maintaining length to both legs, particularly the one that you're pulsing in with. Good, a couple more rounds of breath here. Breath in big, breath out strong. Keep that core tight. 1 more round of breath, inhaling, and then exhaling. Good, let's lift both legs to sky. Draw the knees in, rock, recover. Yeah? Okay. So what I want us to move into next is going to be the, not the roll-ups, I'm sorry, the 100. So this is what I consider one of the quote-unquote cardio exercises of Pilates, right? It will get the heart rate up a little bit. It will get the blood pumping a little bit more. It might even warm up your body. We won't torch a ton of calories. We may not break a sweat, but the idea of that, it gets a little bit more vigorous with our 100s. So options for your 100s. You can start with legs in tabletop position. So stacking knees above hips and then ankles and knees on the same level. Okay. Arms down at your side, firm up your arms and then hover them above the floor. Fingertips reach forward. Okay, your head can stay grounded, or the head and shoulders can come up, again, eyes on navel. Tabletop is more of a modified version. You can extend your legs all the way to the sky for a little bit more. You can also bring the legs down at a diagonal for even more heat, okay? So with your arms very firm, let's begin to pump them down very vigorously. Again, nothing else is moving. You're going to breathe in for 5 counts, and then exhale for 5. Good, here's 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. We're moving into the hundreds. Here's 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Adjust if you need to. Here's 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Pump those arms. Yeah, here's 50, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Good, 60. Exhale, keep that head very still. Here's 70, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Hope I didn't lose count, right? Here's 80, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Good, 2 more sets, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Keep it strong, last 10, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, recover here. Head down if it were lifted, knees draw in, wrap, hug, rock. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Yeah, sometimes I get talking through that and I'm like, wait, shoot, what number was I on, right? So, I either saved you by a round of 10 or increased it. I don't think I increased it. I think I might have decreased, but either way, we did it. We got it. Wonderful. All right. Let's move into our roll-ups next, which I had started to say. So legs are going to extend all the way down onto the floor now. Bring them all the way down. And the legs have got to be strong for this exercise. It is an anchor point, which is really, really going to aid you in this exercise itself. So legs, to get them strong, push your heels away from your body and lift your toes to the sky. Then, right, there may be some space between your legs here. Totally cool, okay? That space, imagine it were a solid. Right, you're going to squeeze that imaginary solid with your inner thighs. So you have to roll and hug right into the center line of your body with the legs. Okay. From here, arms are going to stretch up and overhead to the back of your workspace. Palms face each other, hands a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. That's going to give you the space to slide your shoulder blades down your back. Then take the middle of your spine and push it into the floor. You're going to feel your ribs seal in. You're also going to feel your core firming up fairly decently here just to hold this space. All right, here's your starting point, ending point. Don't lose the energy. Here we are. On an inhale, begin to peel up your body, head, arms, shoulders. And then when it gets hard, exhale. Pull the body all the way up to seated. Stack and sit tall. Take a big fold forward over your legs. Let your head gently fall through the arms. Here, plug those shoulders back into their sockets. Feet are still flexed. Come up tall with your next inhale. Round and roll down slowly. Tuck the tailbone under, push those heels forward away from body, and reconnect one vertebra at a time. We'll do that a few more times. So inhale, start your lift. If you need help, take an elbow down to the floor to help you to come up, okay? And then fold forward. Watch the shoulders. They love to pull to our ears here. Do the opposite. Come up tall, breath in. And then you're rounding your spine, scooping at your core, keeping the chin neutral as you come back to the floor, one vertebra at a time. Okay? So if you used an elbow to come up, just make sure you do your other side now. Breath in. We start the movement. Don't hold it when it gets tricky. Use that exhale. Push it out forcefully. Feel the legs press down as the heart lifts high. Even if the legs float up, energy downward, okay? Fold forward over your legs. Deep, juicy back body stretch. Come up tall as you breathe in, fingertips lift to the sky. Maybe the arms feel like they're pulling behind you now as you roll back down. Spinal articulation. Okay, I want to do one more of these. If you want more of a challenge, try to keep the arms framing your ears the whole time. Breath in, start your lift. As soon as you feel it get hard, force that air out, press the legs downward, lift your heart high. Fold over the legs, juicy stretch, let the head gently fall through. Let's restack ourselves on a breath in. Let's stay seated here. Exhale the arms into a cactus position. Okay, so the elbows bend, they pull down to shoulder level. You want to make sure that your wrists are directly above the elbows, that the arms or hands don't pull forward. That closes, that rounds the shoulders forward, right? Everything draws back to open across the chest. Sitting tall here with legs hugged in. If you need to, bend your knees a little bit if you're finding that's bothering your hip flexors. Pull the belly in to support this. Okay, take another breath in and reach the arms straight up. Again, shoulder heads plugged down. Exhale, bend elbows and resist as you pull down into cactus again. So we're strengthening into our lats here, right? Reach up high, breath in, also the shoulders. Exhale, bend elbows, draw down. Imagine you had a band above you that you were holding and pulling down with. My fingers spread down. 2 more, reach up high, but drop your shoulder heads down. Exhale, bend elbows, resist as you draw them towards shoulder level. Press back here, open that chest. Once more, reach up to the sky. Exhale back into that cactus position, then stay here on an inhale. Let's take just upper body only, a twist to the right, let your eyes follow. Actively pull the left arm back so it doesn't start crossing over, right? Wide chest still, come back through center. We're activating now the obliques, our waistline. Rotate to the left, grow taller as you twist. Right arm pulls back a little bit. Fight yourself opposite directions, come back through center. So twist is smaller because of that, fighting in opposite ways, but more effective because you're forcing your core muscles to work harder. Right, come back through center on an inhale. Ooh, shoulders are working. Exhale, rotate to the left and feel the crown of your head reach to the sky. Let's do 1 more to each. Breath in, center. Squeeze out that breath. Wring out the torso. Take a rotation. Center, breathe it in. Exhale, squeeze it out to the left. Right arm pulls back just a little bit. Come back through center. And then as you exhale, release and float the arms down. Good. Roll out those shoulders. Good. Let's come to a cross-legged position here. We're going to get a stretch now into the backs of the shoulders. We're also going to get into the neck region as well. Starting with the backs of shoulders. Take your right arm, bring it across your body. Take the left arm, hook it underneath, pull the right arm in. So if your right shoulder had hiked all the way up to your ear, drop it down. If you feel like the right arm's in the way, slide your left arm further away towards wrist or fingertips to allow the space to drop the right shoulder in. Once you're here, spread the fingers of all 10 of them, right? All 10, and press into each arm equally, right? They're fighting each other. Gives you more pull to the back side of the arm. Sitting up nice and tall, pull the belly in, keep your posture, keep your breath. Good. And then go ahead and let that release. Switching sides, right arm comes across. Already start to drop that shoulder down. And then left arm hooks and pulls the right arm in. Adjust if you need to. I can get closer to my elbow, but for some that really hikes up that shoulder. So slide further away, get that shoulder to drop down, spread your fingers, press into the arms equally. Lift your heart up, pull the belly in. Breath. Good. Take 1 more inhale here. On the exhale, release the stretch. Take your arms down at your sides and tent the fingers beside you. Use those fingertips to push off the ground so you can lift up a little bit taller. Good. From here, tip your right ear to right shoulder. So you still want to look straight ahead here. We don't want to turn the head at all, right? So looking straight on. Once the head has tipped to the side, your right arm is going to wrap around the head. Hand along the side here, lightly press down. So your left hand, the fingers are still tented. Begin to crawl those fingertips away just a little bit. All the while push down into the floor so that left shoulder drops further away from the ear. Again, you're pulling in opposite directions here for the side of your neck. Then staying in this space, right? That tip in the head doesn't change. Chin on an inhale is going to lower downward towards the chest, and that stretch travels more to the back side of your neck. On your exhale, lift the chin towards the sky. Again, chin coming down as you breathe in. Chin lifting up on the breath out. 1 more time here, chin towards chest. Chin towards the sky. Come back to starting point. Release the hand, let the arm come down, and then gently lift the head back up. Good, we'll go to the other side, left ear, left shoulder. Left arm wraps, hand at the side, lightly press down. Tented fingers of the right hand, let's begin to walk the fingertips away a little bit, but also push down and drop that shoulder, pull it further away from the ear. Breath. Good. With your next inhale, let the chin come down towards chest. On the exhale, let the chin lift up towards the sky. Again, chin coming down as you breathe in. Chin lifting up with the breath out. Once more, chin to chest. Take your time, nice and slow. Chin to sky. And come back to that starting point. Release the hand rather. Let the arm come down. Keep the head as it is. So both arms at your side. Left ear, left shoulder. Let's go ahead and on an inhale, roll your chin to your chest, then bring right ear, right shoulder. And then on the exhale, chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder. So one breath, one movement. Inhale, chin rolls down to chest, and then the right ear rolls over to right shoulder. Exhale, chin back down to chest, roll left ear, left shoulder. We're gonna do one more each side. So just kind of loosening out what we stretched. Once more here, chin to chest, left ear, left shoulder. Good, let's bring our chin back down to our chest. Let's stay there. And then slowly lift the head back up to its centered neutral position. Good. From here, let's go ahead and uncross the legs. Taking the legs out in front with knees bent, feet grounded, and make sure the legs are hugged together, okay? We're gonna get a nice stretch now into the upper back, right across the shoulder blades. So let's go ahead and wrap our arms as tightly as we can behind our legs, right behind the thighs. We're gonna drop the chin down into the chest, all right? While holding firmly to the backs of your legs with your arms, you're gonna pull in, but at the same time now round your back and try to pull away. So again, creating that push, pull energy. And the more energy you can create in opposite directions, the more stretch you can achieve here in the back body. So with your next inhale, breathe right in between those shoulder blades. And then exhale, dump it out. Again, breathe into your back body. Exhale, dump it out. Once more, big inhale. This time as you exhale, pull yourself back in towards your thighs, restack the spine, release the arms, and extend them out in front of you now. So let's separate the knees and feet back to hip bone width distance. Arms extend forward in front of you, hands a little bit wider than shoulder width, again, to not cave the chest in. Try to pull your belly up to your thighs, sit really tall, drop the shoulders down, take a big breath in. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under so your spine creates the letter C, and then you're gonna roll back just an inch to a few inches, nothing huge. You want your toes to stay glued and pressed to the floor. Stay here, take an inhale. Push that breath out, lift yourself back up to tall seated. Do that a couple more times. Breath in, find more length. Exhale, tuck under, round, scoop out that core, roll back. Chest is still up and lifted. Stay here, breathe it in. Exhale, find lift. We'll do that once more. Inhale, lengthen up. Round, exhale, and roll back to your desired position. Now let's go ahead and stay here. Take an inhale. Let's rotate to the right, exhale. Don't let those legs move, right? So hips up has that twist. Come back through center. Exhale, over to the left. Small, small movement, nothing huge. Come back through center. This time on the exhale, don't twist, just start to lift the arms towards the sky. They may not get there completely, that's fine. Did anything else move, right? Come back down, breath in. We want to avoid that so the chest doesn't rise at all. Just the arms do. Exhale, maybe the feet they feel like they want to float, float, float. Press them down, pull that belly in. Draw the arms out in front of you on an inhale. Now, this time, exhale, right foot comes up, draw the knee into chest. Bring that foot back down on an inhale. Again, nothing else moves. Left foot, exhale, lifts and pulls into chest. Good, release the foot back down here. Feel that core really pumping. Exhale, right foot lifts, knee crunches in. There's that ab work there, right? Release the foot, breath in. One more time, left foot lifts. Exhale, knee crunches in. Good, release the foot down on an inhale. Roll all the way down, exhale. As you roll down, heel slide close in the glutes, then you can draw the knees in, wrap and rock. Recovery. Alrighty, so let's go ahead from here and lengthen the legs all the way down onto the floor again. And let's start with our arms lifted to the ceiling. So your arms are stacked above your shoulders. Palms this time face each other. Again, hands about shoulder width, maybe slightly wider. So legs are long down on the mat in front of you, arms stacked above you. We're gonna work one leg at a time, and we're gonna use our ab strength to lift us up. Take an inhale, and we're starting with right leg. On the exhale, as the right leg lifts off the ground, head, neck, and shoulders lift too, and reach upward towards that right foot, but stay centered. Come back down again on an inhale. Make sure the arms don't reach behind. They stay stacked over shoulders. Then left leg is going to lift. Exhale, use your belly strength to lift the heart upward. And then come back down on an inhale. So we're going to continue to alternate that, right? Exhale, right leg will lift, head, neck, and shoulders come up, and reach with your fingertips towards the toes, but plug the shoulders back. Come back to the ground on an inhale. Don't let the arms reach overhead. Keep them stacked. Exhale, left leg lifts, reach, lift. Come back down on an inhale. We're doing 2 more each side. Exhale, right leg comes up, body comes up. Come back down, breath in. Left leg, lift it. Good, release it back down. 1 more each side. Exhale, lift, belly, belly, in deep. Good, come back to the floor, breath in, fill it all the way back up. Last one here, left leg, reach. Good, and come all the way back down to the floor. Arms come at your side, let's bend the knees, ground the feet. Knees and feet hip bone width distance apart. Arms pressed down firm at the sides to help support you here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, arms and heels press down, hips lift up into a bridge position. So in your bridge, make sure the ribs don't pop, that they're sealed in, the core is active, the glutes are squeezing. Roll and round back down as you inhale. So spinal articulation again. Exhale, heels and arms press down as the hips lift up. Imagine a small ball between your inner thighs, squeezing lightly. Roll back down to the ground on an inhale. We're gonna do 4 more of these. Bridge work. Exhale, arms and heels dig down. Squeeze the glutes as the hips come up. Roll back down, breathe in. 3 more. Exhale, find the lift. Good. Round roll down on an inhale. Excuse me, we're doing 2 more. Ooh, breathing too quickly. Exhale, coming up. Right, again, don't let those ribs pop. Seal them down. Roll back to the floor on an inhale. This last one, exhale, lift the hips to bridge. Now we're gonna stay here. Hug that imaginary ball, inner thigh activation. With your arms, not the hips, they don't move. On an inhale, arms lift up to the sky, they reach overhead. Then on the exhale, the arms come back up and then lower back at your sides without the hips sinking at all, ever, right? So again, just the arms, lift them up to sky, then overhead on an inhale. Exhale, pull the arms back up to the ceiling and then bring them down to the floor again beside you. Let's do 2 more of those. Breath in, arms reach up and overhead. Where are your hips here? Exhale, as the arms come down, make sure the hips don't follow that movement. We'll do 1 more. Breath in, reach arms up and overhead. This time on the exhale, sweep the arms down at your sides, lower the hips back to the floor. Rest. Wonderful. Someone requested lots of movement today. So, getting a little bit of energy in the body. Let's draw the right knee to chest. Hold on with both hands. You're going to take your left leg and you're going to extend it away from your body, however that looks for you. So that may mean the left leg reaches high up to the sky. You could bring it as far down as a hover or anywhere in between. The lower the left leg is, the more work it will be for your core. Both hands still on right knee. You can keep head grounded for this or lift head, neck, and shoulders up, eyes on navel. This is single leg stretch. So inhale, switch your legs. Pull the left leg in as the right leg lengthens away. And then exhale to switch, right? So 1 breath, 1 movement. Inhale. And then exhale. Make sure those legs are really engaged and strong. We don't want noodle legs, right? When we have noodle legs, it weighs us down, right? We want to be very controlled here, okay? If you start to feel any strain in your neck, if head is up, remember, head comes back down. If you want more heat, take your hands back behind your head instead and widen your elbows. Okay, one breath, one movement here. But now we're going to begin to pick up the speed, but don't lose your control. Right, so now on our inhale, we're going to switch the legs twice, and then exhale to switch twice. Yeah, inhale, switch. Exhale, switch. 4 more. Exhale. 3 more, good. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last ones. Good. Exhale, switch, switch. Take both knees in. Let the head come down after we're up. Wrap, rock, recover. So we're going to move through the ab series next. So there's 5 exercises in that series, mainly focused on, of course, the abdominals. That was our first of 5. That was single leg stretch. Pardon me. We're going to move into double leg stretch next. So coming back to still at center. Both knees are still in. Let's place both hands on the knees. So you're kind of coiled into a little bit of a ball here. So head can stay grounded or head can come up again for a little bit more intensity. Breathing pattern is going to switch a little bit from what I've been cueing. So this time on an inhale, your legs are going to extend away as well as the arms away from center. That could be high to the sky or as close to the floor as you'd like. Exhale, pull it all back in. Again, reaching away on an inhale. We're going to sweep the arms around, draw the knees in, exhale. If your head is lifted here, continue this movement. Inhale, exhale. If your head is up, eyes should be glued to the belly button. We have a tendency to let the head fall back when the arms reach behind. So we're using core strength to keep that stabilized. Spine also an anchor here. So when you're expanding arms and legs and pulling them back in, your spine isn't sliding around on the mat, right? Breath in, reach through toes and fingertips. Circle it around, coil into a ball. And let's do 4 more of these. Breath in, maybe you pause right there with that extension. And then pull it in, exhale. Good, 3 more. Reach and lengthen, use the entire breath to get there. Exhale, draw it back in. Good, we'll do 2 more here. Breath in and readjust if you need to, right? If it becomes too much, listen to your body and do accordingly. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen, pause. Exhale, pull it in, and then rest. If your head was up, take it down. Movement if you'd like, stillness if you prefer, right? Deep breath in, deep breath out. We're gonna move right through these, right? The ab 5, that was the second of 5 there, double leg stretch. We already did one of them earlier with our hamstring stretch, our single straight leg. So we're going to do it in a different version here, which can be a little bit more challenging for not only the abdominal muscles, but also strengthening into our hips. So the front body hips. Let's take both legs to the sky. We're going to take our hands back behind our head. You can choose to keep the head as it is, grounded, right? Still hands can come behind. Or head and shoulders can come up. Just make sure elbows are wide. So with your inhale, and point your toes, by the way, before we start. Point them very firmly. With an inhale, try to take the right leg, pull it in towards you as the left leg lowers away. And then switch that on the exhale. Left leg pulls inward, right leg lowers downward. You're going to continue 1 breath, 1 movement here. Now, when we're doing this, it is not important that the other leg lowers close to the ground. I want you to focus more on the leg you're trying to pull in towards you, right? So we're not just lowering one leg, bringing it up and alternating that, right? The legs both have to move here. That is when the hip strength comes into play. We have to use a lot of our hip power to pull that leg in as closely as we can, even if it's a small movement. 1 breath, 1 movement. Again, adjust if you need to. We'll do this for 5 more seconds. This one's a little tough one. 4, almost skipped a number again. 3, good. 2, 1, good. Take the legs together. If your head was up, take it down. Pull the knees in, rest, recover, right? We didn't do that one for that long. That was a tricky one for sure. But just to show you that there's different options, right, for each exercise. We can, again, intensify or modify depending upon our practice. All right, that was 3rd in the 5 series here. 4th, we're going to be focused on our lower abdominals. It's a tricky area. It's one of the hardest parts of the body to really strengthen. It gets really deep into that like pelvic floor region as well. So lower abs. With a bonus here, we're going to be working a little bit into the triceps, the backs of the arms. So let's go ahead and take the legs to the sky. Now, having the legs fully extended, if you're finding any discomfort in hip flexors or lower back, I want you to bend your knees, either a little bit or a lot bit, and you can take them into tabletop. It doesn't matter the positioning of the legs in that manner. You're still going to be working your lower abs. Arms, rest them close at your sides and feel the arms push into the ground. There's your triceps. Make sure the knees are above hips and your tailbone's grounded down. On an inhale, small movement here, begin to lower the legs downward. A few inches maybe at best. Exhale, pull the belly in deep and slowly bring the legs back to starting point. Make sure not to pull them in too close, right? Don't release this. So again, inhale, legs, finding them coming downward. Press those arms in to help support your body. Exhale, pull back up slowly. Again, no swing factor here, right? We're not dropping the legs down quick. We're guiding them down with control. Core should be very firm here. And that we're not swinging them back up. We're resisting as they begin to stack above hips again. All right, just 4 more of these. Come down. Maybe that lowering is very, very little. Exhale again, make sure the knees land above hips, so it's going to feel like you're stopping short. 3 more coming down. I feel like I added one on now. Exhale, find lift. 2 more of these. Lowering, slow, keep that spine pressed down. Exhale, finding lift. And with this last one, taking the legs downward. This time as you exhale, slowly bring the legs up, but then continue to draw the knees to chest, wrap, rock, recover. So that was the 4th. Our last one, we're going to be focused on the obliques, the waistline muscles, right along the sides. So we'll keep the knees drawn in here. Let's take the hands back behind the head and then come up to tips of shoulder blades. Elbows are wide, eyes on navel. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist upper body to right and let the left leg stretch out long. Again, high or low, however you like. Pull back through center, knee draws back in. Twist to your left, right leg reaches out, lengthen through those toes, and then pull it back. Inhale, center. So some options here. We're twisting to right as left leg lengthens. When you come back through center, you can give your head a rest, right? And the knees can pull in. Then lift back up as you twist it to left, right leg extends out. And then come back through center. Also, when you're twisting here, it's not elbow to knee. We don't cave in. It's armpit to knee so the movement is smaller but more effective. Center on an inhale. Good. Twist to your left, right leg lengthens out. Come back through center. We're going to do 1 more each side here. Exhale, find rotation and extension of leg. Come back through. So your center body is stabilized. 1 last time. Twist to your left, right leg reaches out long. Good. Come back through center on your inhale and then release everything. Exhale, right? Head, down if it were lifted and recover in this space. The hiccups today. I don't know what happened. All right. From here, begin to rock yourself forward and back, up and down your spine until you've rocked up to seated. From seated, I want you then to swing your legs around and we're going to transition onto our stomach. We're going to do a little bit of back body strengthening here. So working with shoulders, upper, middle, lower back, some glutes, and of course, always the core. So once you transition onto your stomach, I'm going to have you extend your arms out in front of you. Legs, of course, lengthen back behind. With arms out in front, turn your palms to face into the ground and make sure your hands are, again, always slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Forehead is resting to the earth, not the chin. We never want to compress or crunch the back of our neck. Everything long because the neck is extension of your spine. Press your hips, thighs, and tops of feet into the ground as you breathe in. As you exhale, just lift up arms, head, and heart. They work as one unit. Nothing lifts before the other. And then come back down to the floor as you breathe in. So never pushing the chin forward here either. Exhale. Arms, head, heart all come up, and the arms should continue to frame your ears. Float back down to the mat on an inhale. So this is shoulders, upper, and middle back core. Exhale, pull that belly away from the earth as you rise. Arms, head, heart. Release, down, breath in. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale, arms, head, heart. Release, breath in. Once more, exhale, arms, head, heart. Stay lifted. Keep the hips pressed down. Begin to just paddle the arms very slowly up and down. Just arms. Legs are anchored. Tops of feet are grounded. Hips are grounded. Chest is up. For 3, 2, 1. And then come back down. And as you come back down, cross one arm over the other like genie arms. Rest your forehead onto your forearms. It's just like a little pillow. We're going to move now into more of the lower half, lower back glutes. So make sure your feet here are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Create a very narrow V. And then point the toes very firmly back behind you. Your hip points are still an anchor, so push them down as you breathe in. Exhale, squeeze your glutes and lift your legs off the ground. Stretch behind you. And then come back to the floor on an inhale. Again, exhale, hips down, legs up slowly, and then float them back down on an inhale. So again, we never want to kick those legs up quickly. 4 more of these. 4, lift. Use that glute strength to get those legs maybe a little bit higher. Come down on an inhale. 3 more, exhale, lift, but reach those toes as far back as you can. Lengthen out. Good, and release, come down, breath in. We got 2 more left to go here. Exhale, squeeze buns, lift legs, stretch back. Come down as you breathe in. Last time here, the legs are going to lift back behind you. We're going to keep the legs up here, all right? You're going to externally rotate your legs so your heels point in towards each other. Now with legs still lifted, breath still big and full. See if you can try to clap your heels together. Good. For 5, 4, legs up. 3, steady breath. 2, lengthen back. 1, good. Let the legs come all the way down slow. From here, uncross the arms, extend them back out in front of you again, forehead back to the earth. So hands and feet are all shoulder width distance apart rather, so sorry. We're gonna move into swimming to end this back body portion. So hips, once again, always your anchor. Push them down, take a breath in, exhale, lift up everything now. Arms, head, heart, and legs. Again, one unit. They lift at the same time and they lower at the same time. Inhale. Again, exhale, hips down as everything floats up slowly. Continue to look downward at the floor. Reach out through the crown of your head. Lower down on an inhale. 2 more of these. Exhale, find lift. Release. 1 more time. Exhale, arms, head, heart, and legs all come up, and let's stay here. Swimming now. Stiff arms and legs. Begin to paddle now. Arms and legs up and down. So similar to what we did earlier, but now the whole body is working here. Breathe with fire, right? Keep your heart lifting towards the sky. Keep your anchors still rooted. Belly firm, head still, torso still. Keep moving. 4, 5, 4. Keep squeezing those glutes. 3, 2, 1. Let go. Cross the arms again. Rest your forehead onto the forearms. Bend the knees to lift your feet to the sky, and then windshield wiper the legs, either side to side or crisscross. We're just loosening up the lower back here. Good. And then from your windshield wipers, take your legs and stretch them back behind you. Hug your legs together firm. Take your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up and back. Sit back towards your heels to come into a child's pose. Legs are together so that you can stretch more into the lower back. And then arms can continue to extend in front of you, or you can sweep them beside you to let the shoulders release. Just breathe into your back body here in this space. So on an inhale, send it into the lower back. Exhale, let it all empty out. Do that a couple more times. Breath into back body, feel it rise to fill, and then exhale, let it fall to release. Once more, breath into back body. With your exhale, begin to slowly roll yourself up to seated position, okay? And then in your seated position, let's go ahead and come to a cross-legged one. So grounding your sits bones. Arms at your sides, heart high, belly in. On an inhale next, take the right arm, reach it up, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, stretch over to your left side. Breathe into that side body space. Firm in the belly, exhale, pull yourself up slowly. Again, core strength for movement, let that right arm come down. Left arm on an inhale, sweeps up, lengthen the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, stretch to your right side. Keep each sits bones grounded firm. Breath in to the left side body. Exhale, belly, belly, belly in. Slowly pull it back up, stack it, let the arm come back down. Again, with the right arm, sweep out, lift, exhale. When you're stretching to your left, maybe you pull the arm back a bit and roll your heart open to the sky. Option, not a requirement. Stay here. Breathe in, side body. Firm in belly. Slowly take it back up. Take it, take it, take it. Take the arm down. Then the left arm, reaching out and up. Breathe in and exhale as you stretch to your right. Again, maybe that left arm pulls back a bit and your heart rolls open more towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Firm in that core, lift, lift, lift up slowly. Let that arm come back at your side. Good. With legs still crossed, let's take both hands in front. Sit up really tall, okay? And then begin to slowly walk the hands forward. Even though your hands are out in front first, think of your heart leading this movement the whole time. So that may be only a couple of steps and you stay. It might be several steps you stay. You could also begin to fold forward over the legs if it's available to you. But even in that rounded space of the spine, your heart still tries to reach forward. If we start to pull the chest back, it releases our stretch to the hips. So keep in mind length. Going to take one more inhale in this space. And then when you exhale, walk the hands back in so you stack back up again. All right, we're just going to switch the crossing of our legs. Might feel a little different because we're always kind of used to doing things in one way, right? So sit up tall, hands in front, and begin that walk forward again. And it might be different on this side than it was the last, and that's totally fine. Take your time. If you notice the heart's pulling away, right, you're deeply rounding in the back, then maybe pause, right? Send the heart forward, open across your chest. Breathe here, big breaths in. And as you're reaching heart forward, think of your sits bones reaching back and plugging down. Gonna take one more inhale here. As you exhale, walking the hands back in, restacking the spine, sitting tall. Let's take the hands now down at our sides with palms faced up. Belly in always for support. On an inhale, take both arms, reach them out to the sides, up to the sky. Take your hands together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart space here, right to center. We'll do that again. Inhale, reaching out wide, up high, connect palms. Exhale, pull them in. Once more here, breathe in. Imagine you're gathering energy up in between the arms, and then take that energy and pull it to yourself. Pause here, lower chin to chest. Take a moment to thank yourself that you came here this afternoon and gave your body this opportunity of movement, of breath, of strengthening, stretching, and learning maybe a little bit more. Thank you guys very much. It's always been wonderful to practice with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of this sunny, wonderful afternoon. Okay, namaste. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Thank you guys so much. Liat, thank you.